People online are making crazy speculations of what's going on with Ken Coleman.
Oh, I love it.
He's left
Super
Ramsey.
Fun. Yeah.
So now we're all curious.
We're sitting in his studio for his old show, Front Row Seat.
What happened to Ken Coleman?
The only true story, which at this point, who's going to believe me when they already have a narrative in their mind that something crazy happened? I've known Ken longer than most people in this building. I've known him since 2010. We were friends before he even worked at Ramsey, and we were really good friends when he was here. And he truly did not see this opportunity coming. And if you follow Ken's content, you know that he preaches the proximity principle. That to do the work you want to do, you get around the people doing it. And his whole thing was get better, move up, lead well. And because Ken is such a sharp guy, that he had a lot of friends. And those friends were entrepreneurs and business owners, and they moved over here, and now they're at this company. And so he tapped Ken on the shoulder for this opportunity to become kind of an executive, C-suite SVP of communications for this tech software company. This caught Ken off guard. He wasn't expecting it. And the more time went on, a month or two of discussions, conversations, praying about it, talking to his wife, he realized that it was an opportunity that was a once-in-a-lifetime generational wealth building thing for his family that he just couldn't pass up. And Ken loves a challenge, if you know Ken. And his, he had a great, 12-year run here, going from host to personality, multiple shows, carrying Ramsey Show and live events and books and products that have done really well. So there was no animosity. He had a great 2-hour meeting with Dave at his house. And, there was tears. There was hugs. He's still going to be a family friend to Dave's. And I know that's the least exciting story I could tell, but it's the truth.
I've seen wild controversies online. There were these theories.
Give me the craziest ones. I'm curious.
That viewership was declining, and so Dave Ramsey internally is bleeding so much money.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They demoted him. And that
Ken has the most successful digital product in the Ramsey store. So that's just already like a debunk. His Find the Work You're Wired to Do, the Get Clear Career Assessment, is top-selling product.
Okay, well, apparently Ramsey Solutions was bleeding money, couldn't afford to keep the show going. He was demoted.
That's hilarious.
And because he was demoted, he ended up taking another opportunity to be able to leave on his own terms instead of getting fired.
Wow. So we let him go with dignity is what happened, because he was such a money loss for the company. No, that would have been a cooler story, though. That would have been a lot more exciting than what actually happened.
I'm curious, why can he not just pop in once a week to film something?
When you're no longer employed, we're an all-in or all-out company. We're 40 hours a week. You are representing this company and this brand. And so it gets too messy when you're now working for another company full-time and then just popping in. I'd be mad because I'm like, well, I don't get to pop in. I got to be here doing this show with you guys.
Yes. Oh,
I'm working out here.
Mm-hmm.
But Ken will remain a dear, dear friend. We were texting the other day. I asked him if he's making new friends at work and if there are any.
So he's already there.
Yeah. He had a weekend gap, if that, a day gap before jumping onto the new. It's just the way the timing worked out. So he wrapped up some great events that we did, Ramsey Show Lives, wrapped up a speaking gig, and it was sayonara, but he's still going to always be a pal of mine.
Who's going to take his place?
He's not moving, so he's still here.
Who's going to take his place?
Nobody. We're not backfilling his role. He was this role was created for him because of his passion. So it's not like a field we're just trying to fill, if that makes sense. But if the right person came along and they had a similar thing, who knows? We're always hiring.
Would you guys hire 𝗖𝗓𝗡𝗪?
I would say if hell froze over, we would consider it. I think Caleb and Dave are so at odds with their principles, their values, their faith, the way they carry themselves, their mission, their goals, that it would not make sense. To work here, you have to have a similar like mind, similar values, and Caleb just doesn't have those. It's not a knock against Caleb, but, we don't have that type of content around here, and we have a different mission.
When you say that type of content, what is the main thing you're thinking of?
I would say the cussing, it's not family friendly. We have a set of values that are faith-based that I think would be jarring for Caleb to then adhere to or grapple with in this building. And our mission is not to scale at all costs, which I think Caleb is he's a young entrepreneurial guy. He wants to scale and there's not much stopping him. And this place has been around for 30-something years. We have 1,000 people. We represent something kind of bigger than us. And we're not willing to, kind of water that down to get more clicks and views, which Caleb would obviously get. The guy crushes it. But to us, it's not worth it. And that's why we don't do that style of content.
What do you think Caleb is doing right?
What he's doing right? I mean, creating crazy engaging content while sneaking in the teaching. So he's leaning into the edutainment where he's teaching you about taxes while yelling at the person, and you just learned about how tax brackets work in the meantime. That I think he does really well. But I can't watch the content because I have children at home, and so I'd have to have headphones on at all times to engage in any of it.
At what age would you let your kids watch Caleb Hammer?
Oh gosh, I wouldn't. Left to my own devices, I wouldn't. Now, if they go off and they're doing their own thing and they choose, at some point you can't control what they're going to watch on the internet. I would hope I raised them enough to go, hey, you don't want that kind of filth in your brain, And I was on Caleb's show. I left needing to take a shower after that. It was just woof. I'm too much of a prude, I guess, to be in that world. So, my kids watch Blippi, and I already don't like that.
What do you think we can improve on?
I think you guys, what you've done well is sort of like let anybody in, which is really nice that it's an open forum essentially. You guys stay very curious. I think what you could do is have a sort of a stance, like have a foundational principles that you got that's clear to the audience of here's what we believe, and therefore that's the basis for the discussion.
I'm so fluid with a lot of these things, though, that I don't have like very firm beliefs on a lot of things, and I'm open to hearing.
You're telling me I could
out.
convince you to cut up all of your credit cards and pay off all of your debt in one discussion.
You could convince me. I'm not saying you will convince me, but you theoretically could convince me. If I hear another viewpoint that I'm like, wait a second, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Know.
Maybe I'm incorrect.
Yeah. Graham is oddly fluid sometimes, but also I would say you're also very hard-headed. And very stubborn with some stances that you
you're
take.
A sucker for logic, and it's all about the logic.
Yeah,
right.
So that's why I think I don't know what I don't know.
And I think the I guess the blind side, if there was one, would be the reality and emotional and psychological side of the principles that we teach. That's the hard part to just like rattle out there of like, well, you'd feel better if you didn't have a mortgage. Like, yeah, but I could make $100,000 if I kept it. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you'd feel better. Like psychologically, emotionally.
I feel better with $100,000 though.
That's the question mark. So you're not willing to try it to see what it's like.
Because I can't reverse that. Like once I pay off the 2.875% mortgage.
You're a smart guy. You'll figure it out. You'll arbitrage it. You'll box spread it.
I can't.
You'll options call it.
I can't get that again.
See, that's a short-sighted mentality. It's going to limit you in life. Think big.
Now, I'm sure I don't need to say this, but buying a home is usually one of the largest and most important financial decisions you'll ever make. And with rates moving around, it's easy to feel the pressure to act fast. But the truth is, the right time to buy or refinance is when you're financially ready.
That's why today's sponsor, Churchill Mortgage, stands out. They're not a transactional lender. They're a trusted guide focused on helping you build a smart, long-term plan for homeownership.
And what really makes Churchill different is their focus on readiness. They walk you through your entire financial picture and help you understand what you could truly afford, not just what you could qualify for. It's way more than just a mortgage. It's a strategy.
And we've actually had Dave Ramsey on the podcast before, so we've talked firsthand about his philosophy around debt-free living and financial peace. Churchill has been his trusted mortgage company for over 30 years, which says a lot about how aligned they are with that long-term planning.
They also have a 4.9 rating on Google and were named the Newsweek top nationwide mid-size lender based on client ratings. That kind of trust doesn't happen by accident. So if you're thinking about buying a home or refinancing, get a customized plan built around your goals at churchillmortgage.com/coffee.
Again, that is churchillmortgage.com/coffee to learn more and to see what the smarter mortgage looks like for you. This is a paid advertisement, NMLS ID 1591, NMLS consumeraccess.org, equal housing lender.